Uh, we're letting everyone know, so this is your fair warning that we have the recording going on in process. So this meeting will be recorded. Once again, okay, Dr. Jerry Doby, LLC. Want to thank him. Celestine is in the place here of Down East Flick Fest. And Deshawn is here with her group, Creative Activity, Savor Art and Dine, and also my group, which is the Eco House Avant-Garde Artists. So thanks and shouts out to those sponsoring members for getting us here. And the gentleman that you see on my left is Jonathan Policke. He's the director of ecosystems operations at a company called Permanent Data Solutions. And if you've been following all the fuss that we've been doing on Twitter, you also know him as Johnny Sparkles. So this is Johnny Sparkles that I'm going to be introducing to you, that we're going to have a conversation and go into a conversation, a little bit of a talk on pain, data loss, and how Arweave alleviates it. Mr. Policke, I'm going to turn it over to you and turn my mic off.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Sure. Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm here to talk to you about data storage and data loss, and how some new technologies out there can help address concerns you may have, and really what we're saying, alleviate the pain around managing all that data. So I'm just going to share my screen and pull up a slide deck. All right, there we go. Can everyone see it? I don't see it, so I assume you can. Thanks, Andrew. So yeah, we're here today. Thanks, Ramiro, for organizing this. Thanks, CreativeMornings, for being creative. This is my first time attending one, so I look forward to the engagement. My name is Jonathan Policke. I'm the ecosystem director at Permanent Data Solutions. We're a company, we're a small tech startup. We're fully remote and global, but we're mostly based out of the US and the East Coast of the US. So we focus on building solutions for various data storage, as the name says, data storage technologies with focus on longevity of the data. So let's start with the simple premise. Your data is precious. Everything in your life may be documented. You may have recordings, you may have photos, you may have lots of things, and all of that is precious to you. And things that are precious to you, you want to keep safe. So what's important to you? You may have personal photographs, videos, creative works while we're here, academic works, maybe certain applications or code repositories if you're more technical, journals and blogs, things in history, educational materials, your family legacy, my grandma's recipes in particular, records of communication you may have had with friends or colleagues, and then just like logistical ones like business and legal documents. I'm sure there's a lot more that's important to you and whatnot there. Social media, all over, everything on Twitter, everything you post on Instagram, it's all within their platforms. Some people use email inboxes for data storage. I know I have some important things sticking around, saved in drafts and whatnot. Different websites, maybe your old MySpace page, and chances are you store in all of them. So that's a lot. Bring on the pain. This is where things get stressful, and from that comes all different types of data pain, what I'm calling them. So you could have emotional pain, which could be pain just from losing certain files, losing access to things. You could have financial pain if something was important to you. There may be financial risk to that, or maybe it was business related. Maybe somebody asked you to hold on to something special, and you did. It got, for instance, if you're on an online platform, you're bound to their service agreements. So at any point, they can terminate your service. They can change the policy on you. They could change your pricing. And really, you're trusting that they have to stay in business ultimately for your data to be available to you. And then there's access and control limitations. This is about just similar to the one before, but at any point, a platform can censor you or block access to your own account. That's my data. Why can't I get to it? Because I didn't pay a bill or something. And with all these platforms, your data is siloed, meaning it's just within their platform. It's not, you can't use it over here. You can't take it with you and bring it to the next one easily. They purposely do that to keep you trapped in their systems. So, are you feeling the hurt yet? Are you feeling the pain? Well, we've got the pill. Arweave. It's a new storage solution that allows you to pay once and store your data forever. It's in the cloud, but it's also can be physical within your devices and you in control. So there's a lot here. The next few slides are very heavy. I'm just gonna read them word for word, and then maybe at the end of this, you guys can ask any questions to unpack them because they are a little dense. So what is Arweave? Arweave is a public digital library that never forgets or removes anything from its archives. Once something is stored on Arweave, it stays there forever and cannot be changed or deleted. There are no recurring subscriptions. A single payment ensures your data is stored permanently. No one can prevent you from adding to this archive, and you do not need a library card to borrow from it. Now, an even heavier version. Arweave is a permissionless, blockchain-based data storage network and protocol comprised of globally distributed, independently operated storage providers known as miners. Miners are incentivized by an economic endowment model to ensure that data is stored in its original form for many, many years. The protocol leverages game theory mechanics and mathematical proofs to ensure that data is replicated many times and that everyone plays according to the rules. Data stored on the network is tamper-proof, fault-tolerant, and paid for. It cannot be deleted or changed. In short, Arweave is a decentralized and incentivized network optimized for long-term permanent data storage. It's like Bitcoin, but without all the negative connotations of excessive energy use that come from it. So Arweave was founded Arweave was founded with the humble mission of archiving all of humanity's knowledge in an unalterable and uncensorable repository. Its founder was heavily inspired by 1984 and other works to create a world where history cannot be altered and the future cannot be censored. You see here some examples of inspiration and how Arweave has already been used to tackle these challenges. From Arweave, it emerges this, what we're calling a new type of internet, and we call it the permaweb. The permaweb is a decentralized web built on top of the Arweave network. It's like a new censorship-resistant layer of the internet where content, once published, is stored forever and cannot be altered or deleted. Unlike the traditional web, where it can be censored, data can be changed, and data can be removed. So just a quick little visual example of this. So we have you, the users, us, the users, the permaweb, all sitting above the Arweave decentralized network. Great, this is awesome. What can you do with it? Well, any type of data can be uploaded. You can upload music files, video files, HTML sites, static images, documents, text formats, applications, all types of things. I'll run through some examples now. So for instance, you can have simple blog and personal pages. This is one of my favorites. It just reminds.
Okay. Doesn't seem, yeah, Anthony?
Hey,
We did
great
it.
space, bro. This is wonderful. John, excellent presentation.
Thanks, AD.
Yeah.
So the raise hand thing is
yeah.
under reactions. So if anybody wants to jump in there, it's under there.
Okay. Okay.
Just wanted to point that out. I thought this was really informative and great. I'm excited to use the to try our drive a little bit and see how it works.
let me ask you, how did you find out about this virtual that we have, and what is it that you do?
I've been following Arweave on Twitter for a little bit, so I saw it come up there and yeah, decided to join. It's a little early for me to do this, but yeah, I just wanted to, see what this is all about and just hang out a little bit with like-minded individuals.
Okay, fantastic. And something that I wanted to mention too, that Jonathan was talking about how expensive this is. I've been working with this and testing this for quite some time, a couple of years. It started out with a company called Koi, but I went and uploaded because I'm looking to upload this session that we're doing right now and permanentize it, as I call it, onto Arweave. So I went and uploaded a 187 little megabit clip just to test it out. And where you talk of the expense compared to YouTube or Facebook or whatever, I'm the one that's going to own this. I've done NFTs and minting NFTs when they were like 50 cents each and going out to Ethereum. To get that 187 megabytes, it cost me a whole 11 cents. So, I mean, Jonathan, it's expensive, 11 cents.
And you
Okay.
only paid that once and you're done.
And I
So
only paid that once and I'm good forever. Celestine, I see from down east, Flickfest is got questions. That's just the person I was looking for with your films and so on. Let's see. I've
Yeah, I'm gonna repeat someone else's question. They said they were having problems with their holding their network. So I'm just gonna answer questions from Oli Dietrich. He asked, what are your thoughts about the fact USA, China, and other governments are enforcing to access your data without your consent, quote, for security issues, end of quote.
yeah, so I mean, I'm an advocate of data privacy, and you own your data and nobody else should have access to it. So what does Arweave enable here? One, there's no, like I said, if your data is on the network and it's not encrypted, anybody can view this data. So there is like some, be careful what you upload and how you upload it. If you upload encrypted data, you're the only one who has access to those decryption keys. Nobody else has access to them. It's not like there's Apple with the backdoor to your device. There's nobody in the middle. There's no Google in the middle that could be like, oh, we can unlock that for you. So the best way to prevent it is to not even have a way to get in to begin with. And that is part of what Arweave enables. Any other questions? Andrew.
see if we can get him unmuted. Yep, there we go.
Good morning, Jonathan. That was a great presentation. And I was just wondering, anecdotally and personally, what is the file you uploaded that you were most excited about to have exist forever, if you have one?
I think the one I just put up there with my parents. That's like their favorite spot at Lake George. I think I did it through the mobile app and used it to explain it to them. And they were like, oh, I get it now. This makes sense. So that's a great question. What about you, Andrew?
My favorite thing I uploaded was a video of the first time my son laughed when I was playing basketball. And he was like 5 months old and he laughed because I missed the shot. And I was like, okay, he's trolling me. but I have that video forever, his laughter. So yeah, that's kind of tight actually.
I'd imagine for most people here, it'd be a personal item as opposed to something technical or that wasn't deeply involved with your life. So it's interesting.
I've got a kind of a prompt question for Celestine. I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. Celestine, I'm going to ask you if you see any potential with what was presented here today for you and your films with Down the East Flickfest.
I think definitely with people who are wanting to, especially some things are in development. And sometimes you need to record that, because sometimes with copyright, sometimes people, when you're developing different films, you show them different places, and you have some way to authenticate that it was your film and it's time stamped, then that can be very helpful. Because it's a lot of thievery out here. We know that. So I think that would be a useful thing, and a place maybe to curate your films too. And especially I'm thinking about, moving forward, when I develop my own channel per se, how this might be helpful in some way in kind of curating not only the films I make, but the films that I intend to show or promote.
Yeah, that's a great use case. So to the provenance part, when you upload data, it's tagged with your digital signature. So you can signal to your audience that it was me, that is my signature. And the blockchain will take care of the timestamping of it. Nobody can alter that. I put this up at this time. So it's
Slava?
Hello, mic check. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you've got that radio voice.
Apparently, yeah. It's morning time. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are. Wonderful. Thank you for the presentation. Just wanted to say, for the concerns with security, anything online should be considered as not private. I'm a real privacy advocate in that way. Anything encrypted can be broken. So if you're going to publish something, make sure that you want it to be discoverable, right? If you'd like it to be private, you should probably keep it in a private safe. Arweave is better for discoverability and publication, for you to be able to use this data across platforms, across different environments. Celestine mentioned before, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, that she wants to make sure that the footage she's sharing and the footage she's using is attributed to the creator. This is primarily what it's for, right? You want to make sure that the signature is there from the person who created this asset that you want to share, use, curate, whatever it might be. So that asset shouldn't be closed off. It should be open and available for the public to see, to be able to know, okay, this is the provenance chain, this is the attribution, here's the creator, and it's all publicly available. Because this way you can prove in court, yes, from public perception, I have published this first, and from public perception that they can see it in the public domain. Doesn't mean that it's free to use in the public domain, because you can still attach your licensing to it. That's also what Jonathan was speaking about. But I just wanted to highlight the fact that if you're publishing online, it is for discoverability for the most part. And to stay safe, make sure that you're publishing only things that you would like to share. If this is not something you would like to share, please do not publish it. Keep it offline. Keep it on a computer that's not connected to the internet, right? If you need to use the computer for your art, wonderful, do it. Just don't plug it into the internet. That was my 2 cents. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, those are great points, Slava. To his point about private files and encryption, I mean, it's very true. Our drive, we use we call it military grade encryption, and if the files are encrypted and you need some serious computation to break it, but the files are there permanently. And who knows 200 years from now what kind of tech will be out there. But also, who in 200 years do you care if your data gets unencrypted? I don't know. I think it'll be an interesting time capsule that gets unlocked. But
Jonathan, I've got one issue here. Now, I'm taking the place of Celestine. I've got this this new film that's coming out, and I've got this online. It's in a private drive now, but I need to get some funding and producing and so on. So, hey, yeah, I think I'm going to go, and I want to ask Jamie Foxx his opinion of this, and can he fund this? So now it has who produced it and so on and all of the credits, but I only want to send it securely. Slava is telling me to keep it private. How do I send it to Jamie Foxx though then? Because I could send it as a private file.
In this case, the future of this asset is discoverable, correct? It's not something that you're meaning to be private forever. That's what I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about data that you mean to be private forever, data that you never want to share again. If this is a movie that you'd like to create, sure, by all means. I mean, a week from now, no one's going to break the encryption. A year from now, no one's going to break the encryption. But let's say it's your data files, like medical files or any of your family history that's really important to you, you know, like things that you don't want to ever release in the future. Maybe those things you don't put on Arweave, right? If it's creative assets, of course, please, by all means, share them. Encrypt them for a week or two, republish it as public if you wanted to once you've had the funding, and then you have the private copy, and then you have the public copy that's meant to be shared with everyone, correct?
Yeah, and actually, you just brought up another good point that I could ask your opinion and Jonathan's opinion on. You know what's going on, like right now, I got to make sure that I get out of here at around 11 o'clock because I had a hip replacement and I'm going for some physical therapy. And my records had to get from the doctor over to the physical therapist. Now, what the question
that's a whole nother mess, though, with HIPAA and medical records. Yeah, they don't want to let go of that. Wait a minute,
my stuff is secure forever.
It's not secure. None of your EMR, EHR records. Secure. They're not. Yeah, EMR, EHR is one of the worst. That's one of the worst security industries in the world. You could probably break into almost every medical office. The smaller the office is, the worse their security is. I don't trust any of the medical record companies, to be honest. Yeah. I have worked with them personally.
So you're going to tell me that I can't trust Arweave to securely?
You could trust Arweave, yes. But what's going to happen is you want to be able to share it with your doctors. And then once you give a private key to one person, you can't say that someone in that doctor's office won't share it with someone else because now it's in your chart. And then there's always human error, right? So there's always that room for a human to misplace your private key or put it somewhere where they shouldn't have. And then your information is now public because there's only one key, right?
And the other side of it too is once you share that data with somebody, there's nothing preventing them from saving it themselves on their local machine and doing whatever they want with it. That's a problem no matter what technology you're using.
Yeah. The only way to solve that would be to have your own hardware wallet that kept all of your files with you at all times, but that's not something that we're even close to achieving. And I think that's outside of the realm of this meeting, to be honest, too.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, I'm going a little farther. Okay.
Yeah, we've had clients approach us. We've had clients approach us about, medical use cases. I shy away very quickly from those because I'd rather just stay on public content that's art and people want to be seen. It gets very messy with Slava mentioned HIPAA. Then there's the GDPR stuff. It gets very messy. It's definitely better for published content and things you want people to see. Not to say that like our drive side for like personal photos and things. I have a bunch on there. Phil, our founder, he's got his whole archive on there. So, use your best judgment. It is a public blockchain. Once something's encrypted and uploaded to that blockchain, you cannot change the encryption of it. It's there. So if somebody has access to the decryption method and the keys, it's always decryptable. So it's use your judgment part on that. I would say the best use case is for public content and archiving and that sort of thing. You can unmute Ali. I see he's got his hand up over there.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, Ali.
Yeah, and sorry if the environment is not so, because I'm in public place, and also about my connection, I don't know if you can hear me properly, but I truly also realize the chain of comment is like a pipe. As if there is some part of the pipe where there is a leak, it means that the data is insecure. It's like the weakest link about the data is making the data accessible to anyone in the chain of comment. So it's like to trust the system, to trust technology, and it's all the third parties that are using. Because if there is a weakest link in any place of the chain of comment, then your data is unsecured. I was thinking also it's okay when it's permanent, but at the same time also blockchain is like the marble stone. but it's also to be able to ourselves to have the right to remove the data at any time that we think okay, and also to give or remove access to the people. And then it came to my also idea about for parents or grandparents sharing the video of a cutie child, and then 5 or 10 years later the child realized, oh, it has been the picture has been released on the internet from the parents or whatever. And so to have the right as a child becoming adolescent or adult, when he has the acknowledge and the maturity to say, I don't want my video, my cutie face to be accessible on the internet. So because we as adults are mature, we can decide ourselves to share our content, but the children are not mature. So it's also about to find a system where the children can say, no, I don't like my video of when I was 2 years old to be shared. So that was my thought. Thank you so much for letting me express. A great session.
Yeah, great point. So on the first part about uploading private files, for Arweave, when you are uploading private files, all the encryption is done on the client side on your local machine before it's being uploaded. So there are like other attack possibilities, but just from that, it's not uploaded in the cloud. It doesn't leave your computer until it's uploaded, until it's encrypted. For the parts you brought about if I don't want it there anymore, I shouldn't be able to have it there anymore. That's where things get I don't want to say messy, because this is the intent of the network. The intent of the network is no single person or entity should be able to remove anything from the network, because otherwise we're just back where we were. We're back at Big Brother saying, I don't want this on the network anymore. I want to censor that group of people or that person or anything. The way Arweave's designed, I have an article about this. I'll drop it in the chat. There's a few here you guys can look at. But the censorship one, there's basically different layers on Arweave. There's the miner layer. Those are the people who are storing your data. There's the gateways that are serving your data. And then there's applications that you interface with to all that. All of those levels, each of the entities in those levels can decide whether or not to store your content or to serve your content. So if you uploaded something and you ask the network to not store it anymore, nobody is enforced to listen to you. Like, that's the blunt part of it. People may want to listen to you just because they're good actors. The other side is, just like copyright laws, we're all physical entities that exist somewhere. There's regional laws about storing certain types of data that may be illegal to store in your area, meaning I am not allowed to store that data if you ask me to not store it anymore. But across the pond, there's nothing preventing that person from storing the data anymore. So it's really just one of those things, like, even before Arweave, once something's on the internet, it's on the internet. Anybody can have a copy of it. It's just how valuable is it for those people to keep. In Arweave, the mining layer is incentivized to store as much data as possible. But at the same time, there are legal risks and jurisdictional risks about keeping data that may be illegal. Copyright data, for instance. So yeah, if you guys want, there's a few articles that I linked there that get into it a bit more.
Hopefully blockchain will still exist in 100+ years. Okay. Hopefully, yeah, it will. And I'd like to get to know the person and or the company that's going to destroy it and take it apart. I mean, who are they going to hire to dismantle the blockchain? You know, it's there. You built it. You made it. It's like an old cassette tape from 1947. You know, you made the cassette tape. All we want to know is, does it still play? Can you still use it? And with that, if there is no one else that has any questions wants to make any comments, we're going to wrap it up right now. Thank everybody for stopping by and coming. Get out there on Twitter, Facebook. Tell everybody else about the session. It'll be posted. Go out to YouTube and whatnot. It'll be on our website soon, which is creativemornings.com/cities/GVL. And that's what our website is. I'm going to put it here in the chat so everybody can have it, and you'll realize it where you can come back and come and see yourself. Jonathan, were you able to unmute yourself?
Yeah, I just wanted to
Okay.
say thanks for organizing. And if anybody has questions, doesn't matter how simple the question is, I'm free to reach out to me. Or if you'd like a little tutorial of Arweave or anything, please reach out. I'm happy to help.
Okay, and thank you so much for putting the time to taking the time, all the slides and the description. It was really great. Take the time to come on down here, small little Greenville, and talk with us from here all across the whole planet. I really appreciate that from Ali and the other person that was out there in Amsterdam or Denmark, I believe, to Celestine right here where I am. There's the address that's there. Thanks for everybody and stopping by. We'll catch up with you the next time, next month. I'm not sure what the theme is yet, but just watch out for us on Twitter, Creative Mornings Greenville. That's CMGVLNC out there on Twitter, and you'll catch up what exciting things we'll have for you the next time. Okay, everybody. Bye for now.
Thanks, everyone.
Happy holidays.
You too.
Okay, now.